The G7 is shorthand for Group of Seven, an organization of leaders from some of the world's largest economies: Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the United Kingdom and the US. Russia was indefinitely suspended from the group, which was at that time known as G8 in 2014, after the majority of members countries allied against its annexation of Crimea. It was the first violation of European countries' borders since World War II. Members of the G7 meet each year for a summit to discuss pressing issues on global stage and coordinate policies. International security and the world economy are often topics of discussion, though recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic is expected to dominate this year's meeting. In a statement ahead of the summit, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson said he will urge his fellow G7 leaders at the summit to make concrete commitments to vaccinate the world, as well as give support to the global pandemic radar, a new global surveillance system intended to protect immunization programs. The G7 is primarily a venue for coordination, and the group has produced decisions of global consequence. Ahead of this year's summit, for instance, G7 finance ministers agreed to back a global minimum tax of at least 15% on multinational companies. The G7 group also agreed that the biggest companies should pay tax where they generate sales and not just where they have physical presence. US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said Saturday that agreement was a significant, unprecedented commitment from the world's richest economies aimed at preventing companies from avoiding taxes by shifting profits overseas. The G7 meetings begin as the Library Group, founded in 1970 by then US Treasury Secretary George Shultz. Finance ministers of US, France, Germany, and UK met for informal fireside chats to try to stabilize currency turbulence. Japan joined soon after, and in 1975, with two of the original participants having by then become French president and German president, the meetings were turned into gatherings of heads of state and government. Canada and Italy soon joined, and they became known as Group of Seven.